Parents, students, teachers, friends, and guests, welcome to the Forest Charter School commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. It's my pleasure to share this celebration with you. I want to take a minute to acknowledge that, like you, we wish we could be conducting the ceremony in person, connecting one last time, cheering your accomplishments, and giving hugs goodbye. So when we started to discuss how to best shift graduation to accommodate the COVID-19 guidelines, we all decided that the best way to honor our Forest Charter graduates was to be together, whether virtually or in person, to celebrate these remarkable young people at this moment in time. There is something special in the collective energy of all of us being here together. Even if we can't be in the same room, we can be here at this moment in this world together celebrating these graduates. In that spirit, we're here today to honor students who have chosen a unique path to learning in their high school years through a personalized learning program. Along with the guidance and support of their families and supervising teachers, these graduates have created an educational program that has developed discipline, maturity, and ultimately relevance in their lives. Supporting these students in their journey with a network of people. I want to acknowledge the dynamic staff here at Forest Charter School, the teachers, the office staff, the administrators who work collaboratively and tirelessly to seek out the best support for each student. We'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the special people who helped make this moment possible. Thank you, parents, guardians, and family members for your commitment to these students, for nurturing each stumble and success in this phase of their journey. Thank you for agreeing to be a significant part of their education. Teacher, manager, cheerleader, and chauffeur, you are available to facilitate their education and personal growth. In completing high school, each of these graduates has demonstrated an ability to take on challenges and succeed. In high school, it is the academic successes that are most often celebrated, and they are important. But you've also succeeded in how you developed and grew as a person, in the way you conduct yourself and interact with others. Here at Forest Charter School, these qualities are also valued, and we are proud of you for these personal successes as well as your academic ones. I have no doubt that each of you will carry the spirit of personalized learning with you as you take your next step beyond high school and embark on your individual adventure, whether that adventure is college, vocational training, traveling, or venturing into the workplace. Whichever option you choose, we have confidence that you will discover your unique way and find success in that path. I'd now like to introduce our 2020 student speaker, Elena Friedman. Elena first came to Forest Charter in 7th grade. She especially enjoys her science and math classes, although she has interest across many subjects. In addition to her academics, Elena is involved in her community through her activism and coaching youth basketball teams. Elena's college decisions for next fall came down to choosing between Grinnell College, Washington University located in St. Louis, and Stanford. After much deliberation, Elena decided to go to Grinnell College because it best fit her goals, and she will be able to continue her basketball career. Please welcome Elena Friedman.
Hi, everyone. So my name's Elena Friedman, and I am this year's student speaker. The other day, I was sent a letter that I wrote to myself in 6th grade. One of the first things I wrote was that I was 5'2". I found great amusement that 11-year-old me and now 18-year-old Taylor Batante were almost the same height. After reading my letter, I came to 2 conclusions. Firstly, I definitely came across as annoying, and the only reason I can fathom people being friends with me was because they were equally annoying, which does seem probable from my limited interaction with middle schoolers today. And secondly, that my signature really hasn't changed in 7 years. Overall, I'm grateful for the letter. Sure, it gave me a sense of nostalgia, and it was definitely interesting looking into 11-year-old Elena's mind. But most importantly, it gave me a starting place for this speech. As for what I wanted to say next, I really had no clue. The last time I gave a public speech like this was for my 5th grade graduation. I was debating trying to find my old speech to see if it would give me any ideas, as clearly graduating from elementary and high school share a lot of similarities. However, after reading the letter I wrote a year later, I decided it's best to leave it in the past. So after staring at my computer for a solid week, I knew there were 2 things I absolutely had to address: Zoom and the year 2020. While this situation certainly isn't ideal, it is pretty iconic to graduate via Zoom. I mean, not many people can say that, and I'm sure it's something none of us will ever forget. Personally, Zoom will always hold a special yet bizarre place in my heart. Next, Graduating in the year 2020 obviously makes us the best senior class to ever exist, as we see things clearly for what they are and we have a perfect view of our futures, including all we can accomplish. Plus, it just sounds cool. Now that those two topics are addressed, I've decided to tell a few stories from over the years that amuse me the most. Firstly, middle school soccer. It was truly a deadly game to the point where our 8th grade class and the 7th graders had the sport banned for a period of time. I apologize if I ever injured any of you, as my ultimate goal was to win and casualties were expected. Also, in 8th grade, when I tried to river dance on a turned log while singing Katy Perry's Fireworks and hula hooping, all because I was trying to win a bag of candy from a classmate. As you might expect, the second I stepped on the log, it flew back behind me and I face planted on the wood chips. Finally, in 8th grade, when we would go on the wood chips and aggressively spin around until we fell over, for whatever reason. Now to get into a few stories from high school, when we had to walk over everyone in the hall because people found that to be the best place to sit, when we scared Danielle with a fake spider, when the boys decided it would be a great idea to pee on each other's cars, and finally, no matter the class, when Kahoot came into play, it always turned gruesome. I've never seen an equal display of pure competitive spirit like that game brings out. From these stories, I'm sure you can gather that we're quite the handful. I would like to thank all the teachers at Forest Charter for not only dealing with a lot of shenanigans, but also for putting so much effort into teaching and truly caring about their students. Now, for this next segment of my speech, I wanted to take this time to offer college advice to those of you that have decided to go. So I, of course, turned to the internet. Besides the boring, generic advice, I found that you should bring enough clothes that you can go 2 weeks without doing laundry. When walking on the sidewalk, keep all the way to the right so you don't get run over. And finally, to not be afraid to put yourself out there or worry too much about how others perceive you. For the people who aren't going to college, I'm sure you'll be laughing while the rest of us are stressing over finals, as you're already set in a career and making bank. Not to mention, you won't ever have to worry about student loans, and you won't have a breakdown 20 years from now because your degree is merely a piece of paper that doesn't at all relate to your chosen career, and now it just hangs above your desk. My point is, I'm sure regardless of our immediate plans or further education, we'll all find something we enjoy doing. This brings me to the final part of my speech, which to warn you is pretty sappy, so I apologize in advance. Overall, I think we should all be proud of ourselves for finishing high school, because in general, it can be tough, and we managed to graduate during a global pandemic. Regardless of what we all plan to go into, I sincerely hope everyone will find something they're passionate about, or at the very least, something that pays a lot. Thank you for staying until the end of my speech, not that you really had a choice. I may not see many of you again, but best of luck on your lives from here on out.
Thank you, Elena. Next, each year, I look forward to this next part of the program because we get to see firsthand the individual and dynamic results of personalized learning in these graduates' individual stories. This year, we've created an online slideshow that includes an excerpt from each supervising teacher's speech along with a photo of your graduate. I would now like to introduce the Forest Charter School supervising teachers who will present their graduates. Our first speaker will be supervising teacher Sarah Quine.
My first graduate is Maria Adams. Maria is equally as passionate about slopestyle skiing as she is about banning plastic straws. She came to Forest last year to pursue a more flexible schedule for ski competitions. Turns out that was a smart move for Maria. Her ski career has flourished in the past 2 years. She even placed first at the Futures Tour and was honored with the Lindsey Vonn Award for Passion and Promise as a female athlete. You'll see a photo of her flying through the air at the end of this ceremony. In addition to her athletics, I've been impressed by Maria's commitment to the environment. Her legacy to the Truckee Tahoe community will be that she brought the Envirolution Club to North Tahoe. Maria and her team hosted trash-in shows at local elementary schools, as well as at the annual Earth Day celebration. Maria was also instrumental in the Skip the Straw campaign, encouraging Truckee Tahoe restaurants to eliminate plastic straws. After graduation, she plans to move to Utah, where she will attend Westminster College, majoring in environmental studies, while pursuing a spot on the World Cup skiing circuit tour. Congratulations, Maria. My next graduate is Taylor Basante. Taylor is a pint-sized powerhouse. While it's true that Taylor takes an extremely rigorous course load and gets excellent grades, it's also true that these aren't the extent of Taylor's talents. It's common to see her play at least 3 different instruments in one school concert. Not only that, she and 2 friends emceed the show last year, so in between songs, they entertained the audience with holiday puns and an FCS version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. She had the audience laughing out loud for sure. An incredibly talented athlete, she participates in hockey, lacrosse, and basketball, and she's also the official photographer for the football team. You'll see her prowling the sidelines getting the perfect shot for the newspaper. But those are just her team sports. Her true love is her bikes, but don't tell her guitars. A constant presence at the bike park, she has a dirt jumper, an enduro bike, and a BMX bike, and competes in slopestyle on her dirt jumper. I wonder which one of them will get to go to college with her. While she was born here in the US, she's a Canadian at heart and will be attending the University of Victoria in British Columbia in the fall to study social science. Congratulations, Taylor. My next graduate is Sophie De La Fontaine. Sophie is a Renaissance woman. Her talents and interests seem to know no bounds. She's an accomplished artist, drummer, and guitar player. She regularly backs up friends, sometimes at the last minute, in their performances, holding down the beat in everything from a Queen song to an Irish jig. She's also naturally inquisitive and not afraid to speak her mind. She attends political rallies and local town council meetings to share her views. She has annually marched for women's rights and participated in the Citizens Climate Lobby, and she's volunteered at the Humane Society for years. Sophie just has a sense of herself that's far beyond her years. Her thirst for knowledge and justice are unequaled. She balances these different sides of her personality with a level of maturity that most people her age lack. After graduation, Sophie will attend Mills College in Oakland, where she'll study early childhood education, which is a perfect career choice for someone as caring and empathetic as Sophie. Congratulations, Sophie. My next graduate is Elena Friedman, our student speaker this year. Sometimes Elena might come off as quiet, but that's just her humility acting up. After ever the caring spirit, while reading Frankenstein in AP Lit this year, she decided that the monster was a really nice guy who got a bad rap and he didn't even have a name. So she and her classmate fondly referred to him as Chris for the rest of the year. And this is how Elena rolls. She's very empathetic and she loves to bestow nicknames on people. Outside of school, she enjoys playing and watching basketball. She's played for the Lady Wolverines throughout high school and even had a game where she channeled Steph Curry and drained 6 3-pointers. I'll always remember Elena's winged socks and fun t-shirts sporting mottos like "Not ready to adult today" or "Sarcasm is how I hug." Elena plans to attend Grinnell College in small town Iowa. She's a lover of puns and has always enjoyed eating corn, so she knows her experience there will be amazing. As of right now, she plans to pursue environmental science, but because she tends to change her mind often, she'll have to play it by ear. Congratulations, Elena. My next graduate is Frances Hamilton. Frances's middle name is Joy, which is very accurate. She always has an endearing smile and a joyful approach to life, even when she's working her tail off to graduate early. I've never seen a student set a goal and achieve it quite like Frances. She spent the first semester of sophomore year studying in Africa. Then she came to Forest and completed enough units to graduate early. Her version of senioritis was to finish her classes as fast as possible and get A's in all of them. Ever the world traveler, after completing her high school classes, she moved to Norway to pursue her goal of attending music school, to further her studies in classical bass and voice. As you can imagine, the language barrier was a concern, but Frances said that it melted away as soon as she realized that she and her classmates connected through the language of music. Now that she's back in Truckee, Frances is continuing her studies virtually while she prepares performance material in bass and opera for auditions at music conservatories in both London and Norway. Congratulations, Frances. My next graduate is Chase Montgomery. Here's a fun fact about Chase. He does not procrastinate. Can you believe it? Chase always stays positive. He never makes excuses, and he's super creative in his approach to his education. When given the opportunity to tackle a concept, he'll often come up with ideas that even his teacher had never considered. I've even used some of his ideas in my classes years after he's completed the class. Ever since the day I met Chase, he has always wanted to move to Colorado, where he lived when he was little. Well, his wish is now coming true. After graduation, he and his family are moving to Gunnison, Colorado. Chase has a passion and an incredible talent for photography. Relocating to the Big Sky country will give him ample opportunity to practice his two favorite mediums, night and nature photography, while also reconnecting with those old friends. Chase will be applying to Western Colorado University to major in fine arts photography. I wouldn't be surprised if we see his work in future editions of National Geographic. Congratulations, Chase. And last but definitely not least, Julia Morrison. I will never forget the day I met Julia. She walked into our first meeting with her transcripts and a plan. I love a student who knows what they want, so she and I instantly connected, and I've since learned that this is how she operates. She always has a plan. She has been playing softball since she was 4, and her plan was to keep playing in high school and hopefully gain a scholarship to continue in college. But she suffered an injury and she had to change the plan. She never got down on herself. She just picked herself right up and moved forward. While rehabbing her knee, she spent lots of time in radiology and physical therapy offices, which gave her a new plan: to pursue kinesiology as her major with the goal of becoming a physical therapist. I've always thought of her as the unofficial mom of the senior class, so a career where she's caring for and encouraging people seems like the perfect fit. She'll be attending the University of Hawaii at Hilo and looking forward to a flexible career helping people regain their love of physical activity. Congratulations, Julia.
Our next supervising teacher is Dan Hurley.
And our next graduate is Caleb Bonneville. Caleb has attended Forest Charter since the 9th grade and has grown in his skills in many snowboard and dirt bike competitions. His snowboarding accolades include being state champ in slalom in the 2018-2019 season and coming in second in giant slalom while racing with the Truckee High team. His competitive prowess is further shown in his dirt biking, where Caleb was the 100cc Moran Desert Race champion in 2017. Caleb is also skilled with his hands as he worked as a handyman throughout high school, with particular abilities in metal and woodwork. Caleb will further develop his skills as he is planning to work and attend a trade school for electrical welding after graduation. Caleb is bright, hardworking, and an all-around stud. And we are very proud to see him graduate high school today. Congratulations, Caleb. Eric Charter. Eric has attended Forest Charter since the 6th grade, and I have had the great pleasure of working with him throughout that time after having developed a rapport with him early on. Eric has an incredibly bright mind, and his ability to dive deep into many subjects makes him a fascinating and stimulating person to converse, dissect, and debate with. Eric is mature and articulate, and one of the most thoughtful and respectful people I know. He always pauses our schoolwork discussions to make sure I am doing well and finishes our conversations with considerate gratitude and good wishes. Eric is gifted in academic areas and is also a solid athlete who loves to ski, surf, paddle, and hike. He has worked as a lifeguard and swim instructor and is well seasoned in travel from his trips to Europe, Hawaii, and throughout California. Eric is very family oriented and will likely pursue a career with his dad after a few more years working and attending college. He's looking forward to a bright future. Congratulations, Eric. Daniel Holbrook. Daniel has been with us at Forest Charter for the past 8 years since he was just a little guy in the 5th grade. He has grown so much. He is polite and well-mannered young man, yet retains his goofy side that has made him so fun to be around. Despite his humorous side, Daniel can be very disciplined and serious, as he has shown in his 6 years of participating in Civil Air Patrol, which are highlighted by his receipt of the 2018 Mitchell Award and his many marches in our in our local holiday parades with the Color Guard. He plans to join the Army National Guard, where he will start boot camp shortly after high school. If he thinks high school was hard, he is in for a real treat. In his free time, Daniel enjoys shooting, motocross, off-roading, and playing the guitar. Daniel plans to study through TMCC and UNR to earn his degree, and we are very pleased to see him graduate today. Congratulations, Daniel. Emma Kerrigan. Emma joined Forest Charter in the middle of her 11th grade year, and we are so proud of how well she has done at our school and with independent study style of learning. Emma is kind, family-oriented, and fun to have in class. She loves Forest Charter and the flexibility our school schedule allowed her, as she was able to spend time with friends, play on the North Tahoe volleyball team, and explore her favorite classes, including psychology and music. Speaking of music, Emma is sneaky good at singing and playing ukulele and piano. Don't let her be shy, make sure to hear her play. During high school, Emma also took a trip to Nepal, where she and a group of international students spent 3 weeks building a school and trekking in the Himalaya. She considers this to be her most formative school and life experience so far. Emma is truly a young lady of many talents, and she is looking forward to bringing them with her in the fall as she will attend San Francisco State University with plans to study film and cinema. We wish her all the best and are so proud to see her graduate today. Congratulations, Emma. Anna Persons-Worth. Anna is an incredibly bright and kind young lady. She is mature and considerate, and I'm so happy to have gotten to know her so well. Anna may appear quiet and shy, but she has a lot to say. We've had many lengthy conversations about life, education, careers, emotions, hobbies, and more. While Anna tends more on the side of thoughtful and introspective, she actually oozes with talent, creativity, and passion. She is one of the best writers I have worked with in my career as a high school teacher, crafty with words and an editor to perfection. She is also a brilliant artist, and while she can make any medium beautiful, her simple pencil sketches can be some of her best. Her keen eye for art and writing translate to what is probably her most talented and enthusiastic area, fashion. Anna is a Truckee girl, but sports the sleek and fashionable style of a city dweller and is interested in pursuing an education and career in this field. Anna has been at Forest Charter since the 8th grade, and while we will miss her, we are so excited for her to graduate, and we wish her the bright and exciting future she deserves. Congratulations, Anna.
Next is supervising teacher Bria Pagliaro.
All right, so my first graduating senior is Rachel Martin. When I first met Rachel 10 months ago, one of the first things I noticed about her was her love of art and her artistic flair. And if you haven't noticed, Rachel has a very competitive spirit. Recently, Rachel's dad bet her that she would burn the motor out on a new manual vehicle she was driving on some back roads before they made it to their destination. Although Rachel stalled the vehicle, they did make it to their destination with the motor intact. Someone once told me, don't worry about Rachel, she always gets things done. Well, I did worry about her, but just like the recent bet with her dad, Rachel is the type of person that gets things done. For that reason, I no longer worry about you, Rachel, on your new life adventure, because I know you'll persevere, get things done, and make it to your destination with a flair of stubbornness and immense passion. And as a fellow stubborn, competitive foe, I want to make a bet with you. I bet you that you won't check in with me every year for at least 5 years. Let's see if you can do it. After high school, Rachel plans to work at the San Diego airport and eventually take a road trip across the US with her mom. Congratulations, Rachel. We are very proud of you. My next graduating senior is JJ Moniz. When I first met JJ, I thought he was very shy. He was very quiet and reserved in our meetings. And then one day, we met after school with another friend, and I couldn't get him to shut up. What a blessing it was to listen to his ideas, his hopes, and his dreams. Well, little did I know that this amazing young man had so many talents. One of his many talents is voice acting. Think of Robin Williams in the genie in the movie Aladdin. After studying biology in college, JJ wants to be a park ranger. And I think you would be a great for a voiceover for the new Smokey the Bear. During one of our conversations, JJ mentioned that he really liked one of his teachers, Mrs. Sturdivant, because she took the time to get to know every student and remembered them even years later. Well, JJ, I want you to know that I will always remember you. So I challenge you, and this is being recorded, to contact me in a year, in 2 years. You get the idea. I want you to know that I will never forget you. After high school, JJ plans to attend Sierra College to pursue an earth science or biology degree and apply that knowledge to work as a park ranger. Congratulations, JJ. We are very proud of you. My last graduating senior is Joe Nash. Joe has been with Forest Charter since his freshman year. During his academic career, he was enlisted in JROTC Civil Air Patrol, where he was on the color guard team. While in the Civil Air Patrol, Joe completed what are called O-rides, or orientation rides, where he logged many hours flying airplanes with a flight instructor, which I told him he must one day learn to teach me how to fly. Some of Joe's fondest memories at Forest Charter are picking up a guitar with Mr. Dan. Joe said that he knew after his first school concert his sophomore year at Forest Charter that he wanted to pursue music. Well, I lived in Seattle for several years. There are a few famous bands that originated in Seattle. You might have heard of them: Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Soundgarden, just to name a few. I can't wait to see the Joe Nash Band headlining at the Vera Project or Skylark Cafe. Okay, you might want to change the name of the band to something other than the Joe Nash Band, because then you might have to pay me royalties. However, I will settle for an autograph now and a check-in in a year. After high school, Joe plans to attend community college and then transfer to the University of Washington to study music production and marketing/business. Congratulations, Joe. We're very proud of you.
Next is supervising teacher Jeff Klein.
My first graduate is Kylie Avina. I first really got to know Kylie her sophomore year when she was enrolled in my U.S. history class. She was quiet, attentive, and humble, and as I would soon discover, independent, bright, hardworking, and focused. While Kylie is soft-spoken and agreeable, she's no pushover, and there just isn't any quit in this young lady. A great example of this is her conquest of high school algebra. This course had been historically challenging for her, but she always showed up ready to work, asked questions, responded well to setbacks, and successfully got it done, earning an A- in the course. In addition to maintaining high academic standards for herself, she also maintained a great balance between her job, family, friends, and athletics. I have no doubt her intelligence, compassionate nature, and strong work ethic will serve her well as she pursues a career in nursing. My next graduate is Laurel Dettering. Ooh, Stefan Cuneo. Surprisingly enough, even though Stefan has been enrolled in FCS for all of high school, I didn't really get to know him until he came out for the Truckee High cross-country team. On the first day he showed up for practice, the team had a pretty stiff workout scheduled. Many of the athletes were nervous, some bargained. Stefan made a joking remark about going into the pain cave, and I could tell he was ready to send this workout. It's rare to find a teenager, a boy or a girl, who willingly will go into the pain cave. It's even more rare to find one that makes jokes about it and looks forward to doing it. I soon learned that the approach that he brought to distance running, he also brought to his academics. Stefan has high expectations for himself and recognizes the value in hard work. This attitude will take him far in the fall when he will continue his education at Santa Clara University and major in business management. Laurel Dettering. This young lady is a creator, a seeker, a jester, and a wild-eyed poet. She's a Mustang, an old woman, and an earthquake. She throws lightning, sheds a tear, and fills the room with her laughter. She's a loyal loner, a playful pretender, and an ally to all creatures great and small. Sometimes, in order to learn how to take care of ourselves and live this one life we've been given, we need to nurture someone else. In Laurel's case, this someone else was a 1,300-pound curly horse named Moo. At first, Miss Moo was difficult, very difficult. She was stubborn and always needed to know why. Laurel had found her kindred soul. Together they have worked through their challenges, object lessons for each other, and inseparable. Upon graduating, Laurel will move to Reno to live with her grandmother and compete with Moo on the show jumping circuit. In the winter, Laurel will move north where she will continue her education at the University of Oregon. Madeline McGee. Madeline is a true gem and has so many different facets to her character. She has a cool demeanor, is understated, but also has a great sense of style. She's independent, but is quick to pick up on the vibe in a room. She's incredibly musically gifted, composing music, writing lyrics, and playing guitar. Madeline is also a top-ranked competitive free skier who goes huge and stomps her landings. She has a giant empathetic heart and strives to make the world a kinder, more habitable place for all of us. One of her most formative experiences in high school was being a member of the Envirolution Club and working towards sustainable environmental solutions. After she graduates college, one of her goals is to help the young women in India who have been forced into the sex trade. It's this kind of amazingly unique blend of character traits that is going to take Madeline far in life. Wherever she chooses to go, I would imagine. Madeline has graduated high school in 3 years and will be attending Montana State in the fall, where she will study child psychology. My next graduate is Montana Montgomery. As both Montana's supervising teacher and one of his cross-country coaches, I've seen glimpses of his character that may not be evident in an academic context. He approaches school and distance running with a focus and hunger, and he's never content unless he's able to give his best. While Montana is driven and focused, he balances it out with an attitude I would best describe as tranquilo. Whether it's an exam at school, a detailed piece of artwork, the start line at the state championships, or the edge of a cliff jump at Lake Mojave, Montana is a cool customer who delivers results when the stakes are high. While Montana is an exceptional student, it's also worth noting that he's the school record holder at the Truckee High in the 3,200 meters, 1,600 meters, and 800 meters. Montana will continue his education in the fall at Western Colorado University, where he will also compete on scholarship for the Mountaineers in both track and cross country. My next graduate is Keenan Sutter. Keenan is an extremely bright young man with a strong sense of direction and a rock-solid work ethic. In his time at Forest Charter School, he has done a great job balancing school with his job at a local landscaping company. At school, he was always prepared, did a great job communicating, and always put in an honest day's work, the same characteristics that have also served him very well at his job. I also always appreciated Keenan's sense of humor, and as it turns out, he's a great resource for Death Valley National Park. After graduation, he plans to continue working for the same company that he started his landscaping career with, and will further his training as a heavy equipment operator. A position as foreman next year looks very likely. My next graduate is Garrett Thompson. Garrett enrolled in Forest Charter School this past fall and adapted immediately. Garrett has a wide variety of interests, from rock climbing to dirt biking to online gaming and he has done an amazing job balancing the academic part of his life with his other outside interests. Garrett routinely gets up in the morning to game, but has the self-discipline to enact a hard cutoff time where he then pivots to schoolwork. He also did a fantastic job balancing his schoolwork when he took a 2-week trip to Vietnam, where he rode motorcycles around the country. In addition to his self-discipline and the high standards Garrett sets for himself, I also appreciate Garrett's never-ending positive attitude and big smile. Garrett will attend Santa Monica Community College next year. My final graduate is Miss Natalia Wozniak. I always looked forward to meetings with Natalia. An engaging conversationalist, she is introspective, inquisitive, endlessly positive, and mature beyond her years. Natalia overcame numerous obstacles this year, all with a smile on her face on her way to high school graduation. Natalia took all of her classes independently, which suited her well. She is amazingly self-sufficient and works incredibly hard at whatever task she undertakes. While she excels at academics, the arts and pathos are where her passions lie. She is a truly creative wellspring. Because she is one of the freest spirits I know, her future is excitingly open-ended. Upon graduating, she plans to travel the world and experience as much as she can. Once she settles down, she plans to pursue a career in the music industry. Congratulations, Natalia.
Congratulations, graduates, on your successful completion and new beginning. Now's the time to explore new possibilities, cultivate flexibility, and embrace your future with gratitude, curiosity, and passion. All of us at Forest Charter School extend our wishes for your continued success. Graduates, you can officially move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our Forest Charter School graduating class of 2020.
Woohoo!
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. on the way. We can beat them just for one day. We can be heroes just for one day. And you can be me. And I drink all the time. 'Cause we're lovers, that is a fact. Yes, we're lovers, that is that. From nothing will keep us together. We could steal time just for one day. We can be heroes, ever, ever. What you say?